Anyways, back to the iPad. I really don't know personally if I'm going to even get the first one, just because of the fact that it took me until the 3GS to get an iPhone, and that's because there was a lot of things that I just wasn't fond of, like the fact there was no camera on the first one. Or the second one, right? Was there a camera on the second one?
There's always been a camera on the iPhone.
Not the first one.
Yes, there was.
Oh, there was a camera?
There was a camera.
Okay. No.
That's
No,
not
what
it.
was missing was video. Video was missing from the first one.
Was.
And the second one. They just now...
It came on 3D.
Yeah, it came, but at a limited rate. It was like way lower than the one on 3GS. Like as far as frames per second, I think.
I believe the 3G still had 1.5 megapixels, so it probably was a little bit.
Yeah. So, but as far as the iPhone,
But when it comes to that's neither here nor there when it comes to iPhone, because you could have recorded video on the first gen.
yep.
All you had to do was jailbreak it. That's one of those things that breaks your warranty, but that's it's just one of those things that dealing with Apple sometimes.
And that's another issue that I have with the iPad. No camera. Why no camera?
No camera. And this is kind of some of the stuff, I kind of was starting to get into was, is it going to replace my laptop?
Yep.
I really don't think so. Am I going to take this thing to Starbucks? Probably not. I just don't see it because it's in the media. It's that middle device. It's in between your laptop and your iPhone or your phone. Does it fit well in that medium? Yes, I think it does. But at the same time, I really don't see I'd rather take my laptop with me. Just because, sheer thing like the webcam, the flash browsing in case I want to do something flash-based, things like that. I really see the iPad as being that great gadget around the house and when I'm using the bathroom or if I want, if I'm going to use it as an e-reader.
Yep. Now, as far as flash support, I know me and you have some pretty heated discussions about that, about the fact that Apple's not supporting Flash. Carlos, let's start with you and see how you feel about the fact that it's not supporting Flash, and how does that affect you as a customer?
Oh man, that's real disappointing. Honestly, I watch Hulu as well as anybody else. I miss a show week. The iPad would be perfect. I travel with work. I'd love to have that thing out and about. Like Matt said, I'd rather before I get an iPad, I'd have my laptop. It wouldn't replace my laptop because of the capabilities that I have on a laptop, like the Flash. Can't do that on the iPad or the iPhone. It's disappointing that it's not on there, but honestly, I use this thing for everything, and I haven't been disappointed yet. I can still have a computer. I still have a laptop. I can still use those things. So.
Okay. All right. Now, Matt, your turn. How do you feel about the fact that it has no Flash support?
Well, when it comes to the iPhone, I don't see it as an issue at all because I really don't care. I have the apps to game with and things like that. On the iPad, I think Apple's hoping that it's the same type of feel because people really don't miss the Flash that much on their mobile device. On the iPad, if you do use a mobile device or whatever, I can see it as a hindrance and such. You would like to stream content like Hulu and things like that. I think that's where they're going to bite it real big is on the iPad when it comes to Flash. Steve Jobs, he's hoping that HTML5 is going to be the next big thing and pull out of that. But I think it's just some type of little internal beef with Adobe there on that one.
Yeah. Now, just to go a little bit further into that, my opinion, I know that Steve Jobs is trying to say that HTML5 will conquer Flash. That to me is just total BS. HTML5, yes, with the combination of JavaScript, will allow you to play video without Flash. But that's all it will do. It will not allow you to create Flash-rich sites. Like, for example, if you were to go to toadvanced.com, their whole site's Flash XML-based database, whatever. That will not work, even with HTML5. YouTube recently made the move to support videos through HTML5, and while it works for that, it's limited. This is not a Flash GUI. It's just a coding issue. Now, the thing that I think is going to make it a big issue on the iPad is the same reason why, as a designer, a graphic designer, and web designer, people that I network with are all complaining about the fact, for example, that the iPad can't run an application like Photoshop, it can't run Illustrator, and I think some people misunderstand the demographic for the iPad. The iPad is basically, in my opinion, for those who want connectivity, mobility, and portability on the go. They want to be able to read their books, catch their news, check their emails, do some little office things on the fly, play some games, stream some media every now and then. This is not for the professional, heavy-duty user. I mean, that you have to go with a laptop. But the reason why Flash will be an issue on the iPad is because of those same reasons. People are looking at this as if it was a laptop, if it was a computer. And if you're going to look at it from that perspective, then people are going to say, hey, I can't watch Hulu. Why isn't my Flash working? And they're going to get that little blue Lego piece that says it doesn't support it in Firefox or whatever. So you're going to be upset if you're a heavy Flash user and you get this. Now, that's not to say that Apple won't change its mind. Eventually, I'm hoping that they'll come to terms on whether or not they'll allow Flash to work. But the other reason why I think that Apple doesn't support Flash is because it would hurt their app sales. A lot of the apps that they get on the iPhone, if I had connectivity on an iPad, I would probably just play it on a Flash-based free site rather than buy an app. And, that's probably one way they're looking at it, too. Now, to be personal about it, on my personal opinion, when compared to the iPhone, I don't see the iPhone being the same kind of use as the iPad. The iPhone is great for little entertainment and little things, but, man, I really hate trying to look at major stuff on this small screen. And, but I have to accept that the fact that this is a phone first and then, a media entertainment thing second. Now, the iPad is not the case. The iPad, I know one issue came up about, like, how do you type on that thing if you want to type out a full-fledged email? Well, they did announce an optional keyboard dock, which was actually a shock. You should have seen people's jaws drop when that happened. But I think that was a good move, because now you can mount it to your keyboard dock, and you can type everything. You don't have to sit there and do the touchscreen thing. I think
you got the on-screen keyboard anyway, which, I mean, the touch, the sensors on it, I think it has 32, I believe, in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can type in landscape on my iPhone like with normal 40, so I don't see an issue in that, honestly.
Well, I
mean, the dock will make it easier, but
I see an issue because of the fact that no one wants to sit there and peck, and that's all you can do with touchscreen even though I would say people that know how to type can do it faster than a person that doesn't, but with a keyboard, I can look at what I'm typing and proof it while I'm typing and not have to look at the keys that I'm pushing. So you're going to have that issue, I think, because people are going to want to sit there and they're not going to want to you're not going to be able to type on a touchscreen like you would a physical keyboard. At least I can't,
Yeah, I would disagree because, I can type with because I went from a Sidekick, which uses a full QWERTY, physical QWERTY keyboard. And, a lot of people saying, because in the first gen iPhone, you couldn't go landscape and type. You had to do the HUD and peck type of thing.
Yeah.
Which people got used to that, but then it came to where you can landscape and you can type like this, like I could on my Sidekick, and it was no big deal. I don't see any. And on the iPad, it's going to be even bigger. So you can actually set it on your lap and then type.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fine, honestly. It's just a little bit getting used to, but
I think
the dock will make it better, but I'd hate it if people see that dock and then think that it's going to replace the computer at home because they can set that dock, they got the screen in front of them, and they got the keyboard.